Now, if you were to YouTube how to answer behavioral or situational interview questions, the vast majority of you will be directed to answer using the STAR method. Well, today, I'm telling you why the STAR method is actually for amateurs and why it doesn't work, and instead, what you should be doing to actually shine brighter than the competition. Guys, you don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Brian back at you with another video where my goal is to help you find a rewarding career and to create a life you're proud of. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. I provide job search tips as well as career growth strategies from my leadership experience behind company lines. So if you want more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button. So an example of a behavioral or a situational interview question is, how do you handle a challenge? Or tell me about a time you effectively worked under pressure. Now, the intent of these questions is to get inside your brain and examine the logic and approach you use to tackle difficult situations. And if you don't prepare for the interview well, these questions really tend to throw people off and the candidate just ends up rambling on and on. And to address this, career advisors actually recommend the STAR method to answer these types of questions. Now, if you don't know, STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. And the idea here is that it adds structure and ensures that you actually hit all the points to give a really strong answer. But here's the problem, right? Here's the rub. STAR is only a framework to keep your answer succinct and on track. But the problem is that people are using this method to deliver a bland and generic answer, which is actually hurting them in the interview. And you do have career YouTubers that are actually encouraging these type of answers. So case in point, here's actually an example pitched by a popular career YouTuber using the STAR method. Answering the question, tell me about a time that you had to face or handle a difficult situation. So here's the answer. In my previous position as a business analyst, I had the privilege of working with a client that was gregarious, full of energy, and very eager to make things happen. The only problem is that the client didn't have a really clear goal or vision of what they really wanted. This led to a frustration and a whole lot of misunderstanding. Using a technique called I'll know it when I see it, I was able to elicit, analyze, and document ideas the client hadn't considered before. After some powerful brainstorming sessions, we developed a solution that the client was over the moon with. In the end, we received 3 referrals from this one client. Yeah, it might sound all right on the surface, and it actually might get you by in an entry-level job or in like a really high turnover sector, but this type of answer will actually hurt you big time if you're interviewing for a reputable company that you want to actually have a career in, and you know, that's a company that has a really strong foothold in the market. So let's look at this response again and let me reveal the gaps in this really weak response. What's the name of the company? What did the client want to accomplish? What was the point of this project? What was really at stake here? Guys, remember, your answer needs to actually tell a story. You have to give the listener a reason to care about your situation. Let's move on. So tell me, what was an example of a lack in vision? I mean, tell me what actually happened. Did the client want you to look at markets internationally at first, and then, 3 days later, wanted you to look at domestic opportunities? Looking at the statement here, this could apply to pretty much anyone. This is a horrible response. It's obvious that frustration and misunderstandings will happen, but this is just like filler statement. This is another generic statement that any one of your competitors could just plug in and say, and it would just apply just as well. You got to tell me, what were the 2 ideas you came up with? Why didn't the client see it? Tell us more about this I'll know it when I see it technique, which, by the way, is a horrible name in my opinion because it's so subjective. And I really get what you're trying to say here, but be very careful with using these types of phrases. And, it's better not to use it, in my opinion, at all. But let's say it's a legit technique. Well, then how did you analyze it? What systems did you use to document it? What are the key criteria that you used? Then we go on to the end statement, which is so picture perfect. It's actually boring. I mean, again, any one of your competitors can say the exact same thing, so it's really not a good answer. I mean, what was the solution? What were the options at play? Why was this solution the best one out of all the others? And what was the determining factors for the final decision? And remember, you have to close the story. What was at stake with all of this? Maybe the client you were working with wanted to create a new app to help people with Alzheimer's. Well, has it launched? If so, tell me that. And how many downloads have happened so far? What was the star rating? Give me the long-term real purpose or consequences of your work. And that last sentence, by the way, sounds really made up and almost too good. If you're going to add it in there, again, Add more to the story. What clients? When did they reach out to you? Did they want similar work done or something completely different? The big takeaway here is that you need to add way more details to the STAR framework to really make your situation tailored to you so that it gives a lot more detail to the interviewer and it really grabs their attention and makes them actually care about your unique success story. Yes, your answer is going to be longer, but that's okay because each sentence is going to matter and you're still sticking to the STAR framework so you don't get off track and you are staying succinct to the message. Taking my approach, your answers will reflect your unique situation and no one else can use those words in their interview. Now, I get it. We all have bad days and sometimes you get a tough question that you just can't answer. Well, guess what, guys? It actually has happened to me. And here's a video telling you exactly what happened and how I got through it by the skin of my teeth. Guys, if you have a topic that you want me to talk about in a future video, comment below or send me your question through my website, 101mentoring.com. Guys, thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.